Can direct-to-streaming movies change their perception with high-quality movies like The Gorge? What happens when two high-caliber actors work on a film that transcends different genres in the short span of time? Find out in The Gorge. To be real, me and Addy both saw the trailer for this film a couple weeks back for our other video where we were talking about upcoming movies of 2025, and we did not think much of it. We were kind of annoyed as well because the trailer kind of spoiled so much of the mystery surrounding The Gorge.
It felt the trailer gave so much information away that I could have predicted what the movie was going to be about. And to be fair, we weren't that far off. But there was actually a lot more to it, that it became less of a cliche film and it became actually more interesting than we expected it to be.
I was so shocked with how well the movie did with its pacing as far as building up to that epic climax at the end. And the chemistry between Miles Teller and Anya Taylor-Joy was phenomenal. They did such a good job of building up their relationship that when the film reaches this crucial point where one of them had to make a key decision to kind of go into the gorge, it made sense to us, which I think would have been very hard for lesser actors to get that across.
There's a lot of stuff I didn't expect from Miles Teller. He was just completely changed. He wasn't the same kid he was doing Whiplash.
Fan Four Stick.
What?
Fantastic Four.
Oh,
Fan Four Stick.
Fan Four Stick.
They call it Fan Four Stick because it was in the title.
Fan Four Stick.
So that's always...
He changed, in other words. He changed. He was a little kid, and now he's just like a f***ing man, like, and a good-looking man, too. No homo. He was a good f***ing looking man. And it's like...
Are you sure no homo?
I don't know. After seeing...
Because some of your reactions, I was like...
Oh, God.
I don't know.
Yeah, he made me wonder myself.
Yeah, something's happened with his jawline where it's like much more defined. I don't know if that naturally happened or he just knows a really good surgeon. I don't know. But whatever he did, it looks great. He looks great. I take him seriously as a leading man.
Whereas Anya Taylor-Joy, on the other hand, I believe she hasn't changed at all.
Look, I really liked her in The Menu, but I can see what you mean as far as she looks like the exact same character from the other films I've seen her in.
Besides the critique on Anya Taylor-Joy and the praise on Miles Teller, from my perspective, their chemistry was really good. The thing that did throw me off a little bit is Anya Taylor-Joy's accent, which was weaving in and out.
What was it meant to be? Lithuanian?
Lithuanian, yeah. Sometimes she goes into like this whisper voice, and then it's just like crystal clear American. And it's like, why is it Lithuanian when you speak normally, but then when you whisper, it's just general American?
I have new orders that require me to go dark for at least a year, maybe more. A special assignment in an undisclosed location.
Sometimes you can hear when an actor is just not from that country. Whereas when you go to Hugh Laurie in House, and nobody knew the guy was British.
Yeah.
Everybody thought this guy was American because his accent is so fucking on point. Now I understand an American accent is easier than the Lithuanian accent, but it was just a bad accent.
I didn't mind it. I thought Anya Taylor-Joy was pretty good. The accent was the only thing that was throwing me off, but like her moments and everything were there. Both actors, I feel, were very good at showing their emotional baggage of what it entails being an assassin, where you've killed so many people, you've lost sight of what it means to have any sense of morality or integrity about what you're doing. It was all really well done and believable for these two characters to be in this situation, despite how ridiculously over the top it sounds when you talk about the premise with people that haven't seen it.
Yeah.
And we haven't even gotten into the actual gorge yet.
Yeah. Interesting how when they go into the gorge, not just does the world change, the whole genre change.
Yeah.
It was like this interesting romance kind of thing happening in the first half, but like when they go into the gorge, all of that disappears and it becomes a full-on thriller. It gets you on the edge of your chair because it's something you did not expect.
For me, it reminded me of films like From Dusk Till Dawn, where the first half is like this suspenseful thriller where Tarantino and George Clooney are being chased by their fugitives on the run. And you think that's what the film is. And then the midpoint, vampires coming out. The change in tone is super jarring in that. Whereas in this, it was done in a way where it made sense based on the story.
It all makes sense for the genres where they fall into the gorge. You know they're going to be surrounded by monsters. You expect it to be scary, and so it becomes scary. It's a welcome change.
The other thing I really liked was the creature designs were pretty cool. Reminded me a lot of The Last of Us. You get this vibe of this mesh between natural, organic, like plants kind of taking over people in a way. The designs itself were really good. It was just like a few moments where I was like, they're over-relying a bit too much on the CGI for the gorge itself, the environment. But I really enjoyed that when they go into the gorge, you've got this change of colors, this change of music.
That was jarring though, I felt.
Yeah, but that was meant to. Like, it made you feel weird. We thought, like, one of us thought the other just kept farting, and I'm like, no, it's the music.
No, but a change of lighting. It was really weird. It just walked from orange into blue. And it's like, what justifies the color change? Because then suddenly it's nighttime.
I just felt like it was a way of saying this world is completely unpredictable.
I like it, but it's so surreal that for me in that moment, it just took me out of it completely. Because like, you can make the world surreal, but done in a believable and a justified way. I would give it a -point for that.
Interesting. Yeah, as I said, like the CGI at times looked really great, and then there were moments where like certain drones were flying or creatures were looking a bit off. There was a moment that you pointed out where we were looking at the water and we were like, yep, that's a green screen. Yeah, that took me out of it because that was the moment when I go, oh yeah, this is direct to streaming, which sucks because so much of this movie was actually high quality
It's
things.
the little things. I understand that doing the CGI for water is really difficult, but the CGI for so many things was really good. But then like some of the shots with the water in the back, it's just like, this looks like a computer game from 1964. It's weird.
Yeah, it's like if you were watching Jurassic Park and you see the T-Rex and you're like, holy shit, he's amazing. But then you see the raptors and they looked terrible. You'd be like, what the f***? Like, why wouldn't you take that same attention to detail so that it consistently looks good throughout? You know what surprised me? Seeing Sigourney Weaver. Where the hell has she been? I swear I haven't seen her since Avatar, and then she comes out of nowhere in this film, and I'm like, holy shit. I feel like her role really suited her.
You know, it's Sigourney Weaver, you don't have to question anything.
Along with Miles Teller and Anya Taylor-Joy, like having another high quality actor like that only helped the perception of me for this film. It felt like this was a high concept movie that has some weight to it.
Yeah, we have a few more points which we kind of dipped into it here and there. They really did a very good job at drip feeding the audience. It was a slow release of information over time. And suddenly a big piece of information and a long pause before the next big reveal of information, but done in a very tasteful manner where you stay interested. And every time that right piece of big information is coming at the right time.
I felt the pacing made me feel like this isn't going too long, it's not going too short, it's like, it's just right. I think it's time to get to like our final ratings.
What do you think? 1 to 5 stars. What would you give it?
I think I'm gonna give The Gorge like 4 out of 5 stars because
Wow.
I went in with really low expectations and got blown away. The way it handles so many different genres within a 2-hour runtime is very well done. Very balanced, very good flow, great pacing. It was a treat to see it go into that shift of becoming now action, sci-fi, while still holding down this romance as like the foundation for it. The jump scares actually got me. I feel like I haven't seen a horror movie that got me with its jump scares in a long time. And this isn't even technically a horror movie. If it was in theaters, I feel like I may have had a different perspective about it. But because it was direct to streaming, I'm like, wow, this is awesome. So if you got time and you're at home and you don't know what to watch, it's a great time. Great time at home watching Apple TV.
I was considering giving it a 3.5, but I'm gonna give it a 3. The whole movie was pretty decent, was pretty good. I'd give that a 4.5 stars, but at the very end, it's just like, is that it? That's the ending? There was no tension.
Actually,
After the climax, you could turn off the film because then the last 10 minutes kind of gonna ruin it for you.
yeah, that does bring up a good point. The way the Gorge tries to misdirect the audience at the end was honestly really laughable. Like, there was no effort put in to be like, no, we're actually going to try our best to get the audience to think they're not getting that ultra super duper happy ending, yay, everything in the world is perfect. We both looked at each other and were like, I don't believe that for a second. And then you see that ultra super happy ending and you're like, that's really disappointing. Yeah,
Boring.
It was
Boring, boring.
It was like in those rom-coms where there's that moment of like, oh no, they're not going to get together, and everyone knows they're going to get together at the end.
Because everything alludes to it. It's like the style of filming, the color grading, the music, the f***ing music gives it away.
Pretty much the music score gives away the ending before we even get a chance to catch up and see, which essentially just spoils all the tension. I think, yeah, because of how well the rest of the film is, it stands out like a sore thumb.
It stands out like a fucking sore thumb. So, that's why I'm giving it a 3 out of 5 stars.
You've kind of convinced me to change my mind now.
Oh, too late. You gave it 4 stars.
No, I'm not.
You gonna reduce
You know
to
what?
3.5?
No.
No, you can reduce.
I'll keep it at 4 stars, but if this was in cinemas, it would be less. Well, that's it for us, guys. But yeah, comment below. Let us know, what did you think of The Gorge? For now, that's it from us, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe for more movie reviews like this.